Well, hello there. My name is Sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Last time, I showed you my gear and today, I wanted to talk a bit more about the realities of playing ESO on a PC with a controller. It might sound easy, but there are certain aspects that make you go, "Excuse me Todd, I'm gonna need that keyboard back now." Let's start with the very first step, how to turn on Gamepad mode. ESO for PC supports X-input controllers, which include the latest Xbox controllers and PlayStation 4 controller. To activate Gamepad mode, hit ESC, scroll down to Gameplay and choose either on or automatic. If you choose on, Gamepad mode will always be on. If you choose automatic instead, you can alternate between both by simply switching input devices. ESO should be able to detect your controller, just make certain it is turned on and connected. Once you hit ESC to exit settings, your user interface will reload to turn into something a bit simpler. Where the ordinary UI has a master menu on top of the screen and various windows to display stats and inventory, Gamepad mode only has one menu on the sidebar. As a controller has way less buttons than the usual mouse and keyboard combo, the UI must be simpler. As with mouse and keyboard, you can customize all key bindings to your liking. I've stuck with defaults mainly because they're convenient and intuitive, but we all have our preferences. While I enjoy playing on a controller, I like to use mouse and keyboard to lock in and create characters. Let's compare the login screens in both modes. The Gamepad mode is, to me, a bit clunky and claustrophobic. I like the way sliders move in character creation, and this is convenient if you really do want to use controller alone. In mouse and keyboard mode, the login screen has more space due to a more convenient menu location. I like the bit of scenery around my characters. Also, menus in character creation are placed in a more comprehensive way, and the whole user interface looks a lot prettier. Still, I like playing with a controller better, only not in the login screen. Gameplay doesn't really differ between the two modes. There are no restrictions to spellcasting or gathering resources, no limits to what you're allowed to do. I personally prefer a controller to mouse and keyboard due to triggers. It makes more sense and feels more satisfying to pull a trigger to shoot and block. Clicking a mouse button just doesn't feel the same. Also, light and heavy attacks can be easier to differentiate with a controller. A light attack is just a tap, a heavy attack is a pull. And for fully charged heavy attacks, never letting go of the right trigger works just fine. Convenient. This is, by the way, the reason why my socks rarely run out of magical. Fully charged heavy attacks replenish the meter with every strike. It does make you a bit slower, yes, but in solo PvE it matters not. Which brings us to PvP with a controller. I often say I don't PvP, but I do dabble during mayhem events. My personal opinion is that a controller is slower than mouse and keyboard. Getting to the perfect light attack weave that's a bit essential in PvP takes practice. I don't have the patience to learn a new way of fighting, but I wouldn't deem it impossible to PvP with a controller. I mean, if I've managed to kill dozens of players with my heavy attack-based PvE builds, so can you. I would recommend going for light attack weave though, for speed and higher damage numbers. I think I've made a video about add-ons in the past, but let's cover them as well, briefly. Most PC players like to use add-ons for ESO. While you can't install add-ons on a console, you can use as many as you like in Gamepad mode. But there is a small catch. Not all add-ons are optimized for Gamepad mode. Many might require you to use a mouse and keyboard, some might make your game crash. I use Minion to install my add-ons mainly because it makes browsing through new add-ons easy and allows me to install and uninstall add-ons with just a click. In case you haven't noted, I like it when things are convenient, and Minion is just that. Most of the add-ons I've installed add to the quality of life. I have a clock that shows me both Tamriel time and real-world time, combat metrics, a food, drink, buff ending in 5 minutes reminder, and many alike. I would like to point out 2 add-ons I probably couldn't play without. First, Inventory Insight. I have 16 characters. All of my characters have their inventories full of items I might someday need. And when that day comes, I won't remember which rose has the ring or staff I need. Inventory Insight tells me where everything is just as quick as I can type. The only downside to this is that it's not controller friendly. Another lifesaver is just a Gamepad Tamriel Trade Center plugin by Is Just a Ghost, who makes a lot of controller-friendly add-ons actually. This allows you to see TTC prices in Gamepad mode, which makes trading much more convenient. No more googling and guessing, just look to the right and check the price. The default UI for Gamepad mode can be a bit off-putting. It is oversimplified and tends to use a font that's either too large or too small. If you hop over to Settings and then enter Video, you'll find a Custom Scale slider. Adjusting this will allow you to change font size to your liking. But that isn't the only way to alter user interface. There are several add-ons that allow you to move windows and text areas, customize fonts, and add more info on your screen. In theory, if you're persistent enough, you can force your Gamepad interface to look much like keyboard interface. So, in conclusion, is it worth all the hassle to say bye-bye to mouse and keyboard? Does it pay off to rely on a controller to wander the lands of Tamriel? I'd say it depends. A keyboard pretty much ties you to a game table. With a controller, well, I'm literally going to answer the door during a solo boss battle without dying. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Next time, I thought I might give you a proper tour of my Flaming Nyx Deluxe Garret and let you know how to dig up this music box. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.